Hey, how's it going, guys? Texas Outlaws here, letting you know our Week 15 picks. First, we're going to start off at QB, and we are going Phillip Rivers. With Melvin Gordon probably out for this week, and it being a decent weather condition and a weak Oakland secondary, I think Phillip Rivers is probably your safest bet this week. He should produce some pretty good points, and I don't think he's going to be as highly owned as people think. So that's going to be our pick for QB. As far as running back goes, we are going first with Carlos Hyde. A lot of people are probably going to be going McCoy. We think that Hyde is probably going to score just as many fantasy points as McCoy is, for the reason that Gilsey has been taking a lot of those red zone looks from McCoy, and Hyde is really the only strong point that San Francisco has right now, so I think they're going to work him like a bell cow. Speaking of bell cows, our second running back is going to be Le'Veon Bell. I mean, he had an outstanding game last week. It's not just that. He can produce in the snow like we saw last week, and they will be playing in the snow this week again against a really weak Cincinnati running defense. He's going to be touching the ball a whole lot, scoring a whole lot of points. I think we'll see pretty close to the production that we got last week from him. From our receivers, we're going with Rashad Matthews. I really like the matchup with Kansas City. They got a real weak secondary, and once again, the weather conditions are looking good for them. So you should see the ball flying around a little bit. But besides Delaney Walker, I mean, Matthews is the only real second option you got as far as your air arsenal goes. So I think we're going to see quite a few targets going to Matthews this week. And then our stack with Phillip Rivers is going to be Inman. I've really liked him lately. He's been doing a great job. He's been getting a lot more targets, and he's becoming more consistent at catching those targets. He's been getting some really good points as far as fantasy goes lately. So I think he's going to be a real good stack with Phillip Rivers this week. And with, of course, again, Gordon out, I think we're going to see a little more pass-heavy offense from the San Diego Chargers than we've seen as of recent. And in third wide receiver, going with Tyreek Hill. He's just been a monster lately. He's so quick. He's been getting the targets, and he's been producing from those targets, which is the most important thing. Tennessee's secondary hasn't been all that hot. And it's a home game for Kansas City, so you should see some good production from Tyreek Hill. And then for tight end, it's been a little bit more difficult for us, but we're actually going to go with Brait. And a lot of people are kind of wondering, well, why are you going to go with Brait? Well, there's a few things. Humphrey is questionable due to concussion protocols, so that takes one of the decent receivers away from Tampa Bay. Besides Humphrey, I mean, obviously Evans is their go-to man, but I think that Brait is going to get a lot more targets this week because Dallas has been really weak against the tight ends. I think he's going to be a pretty safe bet. He's been hitting around 7 to 9 targets a game, which is really good for a tight end, and I think he's going to put up some pretty decent numbers this week. I think he's going to be the clinch for us. And then our flex, we're going to go with Blount. He's going to be pretty low owned, I think, and if you're going to beat Denver, it's going to be on the ground. Belichick knows this. They're going to be putting in their big beast, the Blount, and I think he's going to take us home for this week as far as tournament play goes. And then, of course, the defense, we're going to go with the Bills. Reason being that any defense who has gone up against Cleveland has put up numbers, and I don't think that that's going to change at all this week, considering it's going to be a snowy game. I think the Bills are going to be able to shut down the run, which they haven't been able to do that well lately, but I think in this situation they will. And anything that goes in the air, I think the Bills are going to be able to capitalize on. Well, there you go, guys. There is our Week 15 picks. Hope you enjoyed.